Hey everyone, it's Mr. Kovahled here. I'm making this video because I kind of want to make a special gift to the students that I've taught this whole year. Now this year has been broken up into 4 quarters. The first one being with the grade 5 students I taught, and then the next 3 being with grade 7 students. Particularly difficult, strange year for everyone involved, especially the students. I think we can all say that this has not been the type of learning we wanted or the type of learning that we wanted to provide to anybody. And as someone who loves learning, someone who desires to be a lifelong learner, I know I didn't get to be the teacher I wanted to be in a lot of ways due to COVID-19. What I still want to do though is make this a memorable, positive footnote. And this video is a part of that in a way. Now normally what I like to do is I create a sort of comic book cover showcasing everyone in the class, maybe a little inside joke or something, kind of reflecting everything that is the class as a whole. It's just a nice little like, hey, I see you, you matter, you're just as special and as cool and as awesome as everybody else in the class. I got to do that last year when we first went into COVID learning. And since that class didn't get to have a regular school classroom photo because of COVID-19, this was that perfect replacement of that. Every student in that class, students who had left the school, students who had left the class, students who had moved away, they all got to be a part of that. That was a little snapshot. The year before that, my first year of teaching, I got to do that with a small group of kids. And that was my first kind of little foray into expressing my own creativity with teaching. I want to keep doing that. I think this year what I want to do a little bit differently is I want to make it so that anybody, regardless of if you were in my classroom or not, can use it. Because when it comes to online learning, when it comes to COVID learning really, we've all kind of had this sort of struggle where we don't know where we belong. And in many ways, all of us have had some form of online learning, even if we were in school and learning. So this is the idea that I have in my mind. I want to replicate something I've seen in a movie. The movie is called The Matrix. Many of you probably have not seen it. Some of you may have. If you have, cool. If you haven't, not too bad. In this movie, there's a character by the name of the Architect. The Architect has created this universe for everyone, all human beings, to be trapped inside. Now, I'm not saying I'm a teacher who traps students inside. Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, I'm a teacher who traps students into their online learning every day by spending all that wonderful time with me. And that's kind of what I want to show off in more of a fun kind of way. So the idea I have is Inspector Gadget meets The Matrix, where you have Dr. Claw saying, "I'll get you next time, Inspector." And the Architect sitting in front of this wall of screens, because the wall of screens is what I see every day when I come in and I teach my students. Now, this is just part 1 of probably what's going to be happening for me at least throughout the month of May, creating this sort of video and creating this comic book cover. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to take you on the journey, and then hopefully by the end of it, you get something that you can print off and edit up yourself and be creative with too. So without further ado, it's time to get digital. No. I'm here. All right, it's May 20th, something o'clock. Oh, 7:15. And I think I just got an idea as I'm walking Althea here for the name of the comic. I think it could be something like Mr. E. And then I'm trying to figure it out, but it could be something along the lines of Mr. E. Digital influencer. I don't know, that's kind of lame. Or Mr. E breaks the internet. And the reason why it's Mr. E is just because I'm a teacher, and then anybody can be it. But then the Mr. E sounds like mystery, and Mr. E could stand for evil. So, yeah, that's okay. Well, Althea's eating poop. I gotta go stop her.
Yes, I have become bald.
You see, the greatest villains in history have been bald. You have Thanos, Count Olaf, Lord Voldemort twice, Jeff Bezos, Caillou, and now to create this art here, I need you to become art. And in doing so, what I plan to do now is show you how I get from all of this work here, trace it on the window, and then present you the final copy.
Here it is, the final product, what I've been working towards, what you've been watching patiently for, the final comic book cover. Now from here, what you can do is put faces, put pictures, put whatever the heck you'd like in these computer screens. You might want to put some faces in there or some Google profile logos that most teachers probably see. But I've also created a template for you, a blank template for both teachers and students that anybody can really use to fill in or color or change up however they want it, because that's what I want it to be. I want it to be a fun little thing. Now, I've done this in the past as a comic book cover, and I've had students create their own comic books. Every student in the class creating their own comic and putting it together and giving it as a keepsake for the year. I've also used it as a classroom photo when we weren't able to get a classroom photo, just because I wanted to include everybody in there. But I'm going to leave that creativity and imagination up to you. But whatever it is that you do with it, I hope that you can use it for fun. And please do send me what you've done. I want to see the amazingness, the artistic skill, just everything that people have. Well, that's it. The reason why I wanted to make this comic book cover, it was for my students for sure. It was for other people to kind of use something, but it was for myself too. This year has been unimaginably difficult, and more often than not, unfortunately, I questioned why I was doing what I was even doing. And it might be because I didn't get to actually experience teaching the way I like to experience it, which is by building a community, by showing somebody I really cared about them, by being able to see something in their eyes, their faces. And despite all the jokes and everything I made, this has been a very difficult year. I started teaching online learning March 2020. You know what, actually, one second, I'll be right back. It's a bit dusty, a bit dirty. But yeah, this is how the first video started over a year ago. And I didn't think it would last as long as it did.
teaching online. I started it out as a thing to kind of keep my own mental health in check and to provide some sort of enjoyment or entertainment to my students, because they weren't getting what they deserved. And I think if there's one thing I can gain from this whole experience of teaching online, it's that this whole teaching thing, it's important. Sure, learning, it's important. But actually making someone feel like they matter and they have some form of value and that you actually are excited to see them, that matters so much more. That matters so much more. And for any other teacher who's watching this, or any other student who's watching this, or students who I've had the pleasure of teaching, or the fortune of teaching, I should say, I hope the best for you. I hope that this is the end of online learning. I hope that we get to return to the classrooms where we get to have those cultures and communities, and we get to plaster the walls with the things that we want to see, where we get to be excited to be somewhere else. Growing up, school was my safe place, and I wasn't very good at school in terms of academics, but that was the most exciting place I could be. I hope it can become that again. I'm hoping this is the last time I have to make a video for online purposes, in terms of online students and teaching and instruction, that sort of thing. But yeah, just realize that you do have value beyond your learning, beyond who you are as a student. Anyways, I'll end this as I end pretty much every Google Meet I've had with students this past year and a bit, with 5 different classes, 2 different grade 5 classes, and then 3 different grade 7 classes. If you need any help, if you have any questions at all, I'm here for you. And if you just want to chat, I'm happy to do that too. And if you feel like you're kind of getting stressed out and this is too much work, just take a break and just let me know so that I can be there for you. The only expectation I have for you is that you understand that I care more about your mental health and your well-being than whether or not you finish an assignment. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it. It's very difficult. There's been more than one, more than like a good month of days, let's say, that I haven't wanted to come on. And so the fact that you're here, the fact that you're watching this, the fact that you come on, even without your camera on or your microphone on, just being there, that speaks volumes to just your strength. So thank you for trying. Thank you for coming. And if you have any questions, like I said, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to turn my mic off and my camera off. And yeah, but I'm here if you need it. All right? I'll see you folks later.